Hi, students, and welcome to today's lesson. I'm Ms. Alvina. Today, we will begin exploring the question, how long have butterflies survived on Earth? Are you ready? Grab your pencil and your science journal, and let's get started. Hey, what is this animal? Have you ever seen anything that looks like this before? I noticed that this creature looks kind of like a rhinoceros, but it doesn't look like the rhinoceros I've seen at the zoo. This creature seems to have a shell on its body and scales on its legs. I see something that looks like a unicorn horn on the animal's back. Do you see the horn? This is a woodcut of a rhinoceros. A woodcut is sort of like a rubber stamp, only the image is carved into a block of wood before ink is pressed onto the surface, and the surface is pressed onto paper. I think the artist may have gotten a few details mixed up. Now this looks like a rhinoceros, and that's because it is. It's a photograph of a rhinoceros. What do you notice about this animal? Let's look at the woodcut side by side with the photograph. What is similar? What is different? I noticed that both rhinoceroses have 4 legs and 2 ears. I also noticed that both have 2 horns, but these horns are in different places. In the woodcut, it looks like the rhinoceros has bumps and little circles on its skin, but I don't see those same details in the photograph. They might be different because one is a piece of art and the other is an actual photograph. Or maybe they show 2 different kinds of rhinoceros. This woodcut was created by an artist named Albert Dürer in 1515. Interestingly, he had never actually seen a rhinoceros before. Never. He created the woodcut from a sketch and a description of a rhinoceros that he received in a letter. Wow, think about how difficult it is to draw something you've never seen before. Without ever seeing a real rhinoceros, you would find it hard to draw the details correctly. No wonder the animal in this woodcut looks different from the rhinoceros in the photograph. For hundreds of years, people who had never seen a rhinoceros before thought that Dürer's woodcut showed an accurate representation of the animal. This story shows us how important accurate representation is. Keep that in mind as we continue with the rest of today's lesson. Let's start by using what we know to create a sketch of a different animal, something totally different from a rhinoceros, a butterfly. I'll show you my drawing, but you can also pause this video and draw your own. What does a butterfly look like? Oh, I know. Butterflies have kind of a thin, oval-shaped body. Oh, and I've seen butterflies fly, so I know they have wings. I'll also drop 2 lines on top of its head because I've seen that before. I have a feeling something is missing from my drawing. If I want to create an accurate representation, I need to do some research. This book, A Butterfly is Patient, written by Diana Hutz-Aston and illustrated by Sylvia Long, has a lot of great images of butterflies. Let's take a look inside. Wow, look at all these different butterflies. What do you notice? I noticed that the drawings of the butterflies in the book are much more detailed than the butterfly in my drawing. A butterfly is an insect that has a long, thin body and 4 wings that are often brightly colored. 4 brightly colored wings? My drawing doesn't quite match that description, does it? I need to update my butterfly sketch to add more details and to make my sketch a more accurate representation of a butterfly. Let's see, I learned that butterflies have 4 wings, not 2. I also am going to add some color. And I noticed that some of the butterflies from the book had spots. I'll add those as well. Remember how Albrecht Dürer learned what he knew about a rhinoceros from a description and a sketch in a letter? He got some details wrong, didn't he? Imagine that you will show your butterfly sketch to someone who has never seen a butterfly before. Will your sketch tell the person everything there is to know about butterflies? What kind of information would the person not be able to learn from your sketch? There is a lot about butterflies that a person would not learn just by looking at a sketch. A person couldn't learn everything. For example, your sketch wouldn't tell a person where butterflies live or what butterflies need to survive. Your task will be to draw a sketch of what you might find in the place where a butterfly lives. Think about what a butterfly may need to survive and include as many details as you can. Imagine you will share your sketch with someone who has never seen a butterfly and have fun. Hi students, welcome to today's lesson. I'm Ms. Albina. Today we'll continue thinking about butterflies and what they need from their environment. Are you ready? Grab your pencil and your science journal and let's get started. What if I asked you to draw an animal with 4 legs, 2 eyes, and ears? What might you draw? Would you have drawn, say, a dog? What about a rabbit? Or maybe a cat? All of these drawings match the description I gave you, but which one is correct? The truth is, I didn't give you enough information for you to know exactly what I wanted you to draw. The more information we have, the more accurate our representations will be. Remember my first drawing of a butterfly? It wasn't very accurate, was it? But when I got more information, I was able to add more details to my drawing. Your task after the last lesson was to draw a picture that shows what you may find where a butterfly lives. I wonder what you drew. Here's my picture. I included what I imagine a butterfly needs to survive. Flowers and some grass, because I usually see butterflies outside. Did your drawing look something like mine? I wonder how accurate my representation of where a butterfly lives is. Let's do some more research. We'll start by looking at a few photographs. Look at these 8 photographs. Think about how you would sort these photographs into categories. The photographs in each category should be related, and you should be able to explain how they are related. I'll give you a little think time. I can think of several ways to sort these. Maybe you thought to sort them into a group of animals and a group of plants. Or animals that can fly and plants and animals that can't fly. Ooh, or what about sorting them by where they live? Some live on land and some live in water. There are so many possibilities, but here's a challenge for you. Let's put all of these photographs back together. Can you think of a single category that includes all the things that you see in these photographs? What could we say that is true about all of them? We could say they are all things that are found outside, or things that need water. We could even say that they are all things that are living. But you know what else we could call them? We could call them all organisms. An organism is a living thing, such as a plant or an animal. Each of these photographs shows at least one organism. And guess what? These are all organisms that can be found where butterflies live. Do you think any of these organisms help butterflies survive? I'm going to update my drawing of where a butterfly lives, and you can do the same with your drawing. Go ahead and add any organisms that live around the butterfly and that might help the butterfly survive. One of the organisms in the photograph was a tree, so I'll add a tree to my drawing. There are lots of trees outside, and maybe butterflies get some of what they need to survive from trees. Our drawings represent part of a butterfly's environment. An environment is the area surrounding an organism that includes what the organism needs to survive. What else do you think butterflies need to survive? I think butterflies need water to survive and sunlight to stay warm. I'll also draw a cloud to further show that butterflies are found outdoors. The butterfly's environment includes living organisms and non-living things like water that the butterfly needs to survive. Let's use what we've drawn to start building an anchor model. Our anchor model shows what we know so far about how butterflies survive in their environment. Models need to include both details and labels, so let's label what we've drawn. We have the sun for warmth, some water for the butterfly to drink, flowering plants for food, as well as some grass and a tree. I also drew a cloud. Now we need to title our model. The title of a model should give a clear and easy explanation of what the model depicts. Because we're modeling how a butterfly survives, let's call our model Butterfly Survival. Now all we need is an explanation of what is happening in our model. Let's write, butterflies live in environments that have water and plants, such as flowering plants, grass, and trees. Butterflies get what they need to survive from their environment. With all this talk about butterflies, I wonder what other organisms need in their environment to survive. For example, I know that plants need sunlight in their environment. I know that whales need clean, unpolluted water to live. One of your tasks will be to write about other kinds of organisms, any living thing, and what they need in their environment to survive. Let's review your tasks for today. First, draw the class anchor model and write an explanation. Second, answer the question about other organisms. Think about what organisms other than butterflies may need in their environment to survive.